Morning, guys. Thank you for coming back to my channel. This morning, I thought it would be a really good time to just take a swift look around the garden. It's not in a good state as far as it being like ready for guests, but you're not guests anymore, you're friends. So I thought we would have a little look at the hydrangeas that are blooming and some of the roses that are blooming also. Although I must admit, I have had a little whip around the rose garden this morning and I've already cut some for the house. So they're looking a little bit bare in places. We're going to start off here at the main entrance. Is that some poo I can see? Anyway, this is the main walk up to the house, and this area is quite shady. It does get some morning sun, but from the bushes from next door, it's quite dappled shade for the majority of the day. And also, it's under these conifers, which I don't want to get rid of because they do provide quite a lot of privacy for the front garden. However, they don't look so amazing. So if you come over here and have a look, what I've done, what I'm starting is this is a climbing hydrangea. So the hope is, because the climbing hydrangea does really well in shade. And as you can see here, it's already started to attach itself to this tree limb here. So what I'm hoping is that I can train it to climb up this old conifer here, and if everything goes according to plan, which of course it always does, we'll have some lovely hydrangea blooms here. I mean, it can cover all of them if it wants to, and up. On this hydrangea, this is going to move. I'll move this in autumn because obviously the beautiful pink blooms are just not going with the vibe that I'm trying to create out here. That's freshly planted. I don't know if you were with me when I planted that. That's a bouquet parfait rose. And you can see the roses on it are really quite small, but that's because it's been grown in a pot. So hopefully, as she matures, we'll get those beautiful, huge clusters of flowers that bouquet parfait is actually really known for. And this gorgeous thing, I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. This is Hydrangea curcifolia. This hydrangea, oh, what's this leaf damage here? What's eating my leaf? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But look, this is the first bloom from it. This is Tara. So unlike the other oak leaf hydrangeas, this is got this has got way more dense flower heads. So most of the oak leaf hydrangeas are kind of like got a lace cap vibe, their blooms, but this one's very dense and really, really good. I'm so happy that I've got a bloom on it because this is its first year and they do bloom on old wood. As we move around, this is my Deutzia snowflake. This is Macmillan. This is the Macmillan nurse from Peter Beals. This rose I just purchased. I think it was like a $5.99 job from Home Base. And it's an iceberg rose, the shrub variety. This is the new to the market. I mean, I think it's probably about 18 months, 24 months old to the market. This is a Fairy Trail Bride hydrangea. In the back here, I've got this is the classic Annabelles. And as you can see, this is why they're notorious for flopping because the blooms are absolutely huge. Now, this is their first year in the ground, and I guess I didn't support them as well as I will do next year. Here we have this. Look at this. Look at all of these sprays. And again, this is a first year rose. This is its first year and it's in a pot. This is Danahue. This is the Danahue rose from David Austin. Look at all of these sprays. And as you can see, let's just look at this one. It first starts off, needs some deadheading happening here, guys. Don't judge. Don't you dare judge me. It starts off quite apricotty, then it fades, And then you've got basically white petals with that little yellow center left. It's a really delicate rose, but actually very plentiful. This is its second flush because it did this um, at the beginning of the rose season. It already flushed out and gave me lots of blooms, but the second flush seems to be more plentiful, but probably a little bit smaller blooms, if anything. Here, this lovely thing that hasn't given me one flower this year, or not even a bud. This is Bluebird Serrata hydrangea. You know, obviously, as a collector of hydrangeas, I had to have a Serrata. This is the only one, and let's hope she does something spectacular next year. Again, here I have another Fairy Trail Bride hydrangea, and I thought it was quite interesting to have one of them in the ground, keep one of them in the pot, and we'll see what happens. Over here, this little thing, this is the Country Parsons, and as you can see, the thorns are ridiculous. The thorns are crazy, but the plant's really lovely, and it has a lovely, lovely scent to it. So I think I'll keep that around. This, I believe, is Secret Parfuma. She's not really blooming at the moment. Just got these little promises of buds there, but nothing else on the bush. Again, first year, so I'm not expecting the world from it. A Cordes Rose, Secret Parfuma. And over the arch, I have Trachyla jasminoides. So we have star jasmine, there's one either side, and again, the Garden of Promise. It promises to join in the middle and give us that arch of white star flowers that smell glorious. Jasmine is like my favorite scent. So let's have a look at the front. There's a little bee. The bee loves the scabiosa. Look at that. Feeding away. Now, I'm telling you, a couple of years ago, I would never be this close to anything that wasn't a butterfly. I really love the way that this is turning out. The beauty of growing in containers is that you can move and shift things around until you get the right combination that you're going for. And as it stands at the moment, this is really coming together the way that I had envisioned. It's getting that dreamy, country cottagey feel as much as you can anyway in a London end of terrace house. So here we've got some scabiosa, and then the Achillea in here. This is Peter Cottontail. I've got some lovely daylilies here. I'm not sure what the variety is, and some calla lilies. Now, next year I won't be growing the two together. I think just having the daylily by itself is what I want. And I've got this lovely Laguna rose. This is a Cordes rose, I believe. And the idea here is for it to grow up this trellis and give you a nice warm welcome as you're coming in. It does have a lovely fragrance to it. It's not as strong as, say, Gabriel Oak or something like that, but this place, I think, really needed a climbing rose. Next to it, I've got some Wisley Cream Clematis. That one blooms in the winter, so hopefully that will give it that winter interest, and then we've got some summer interest coming from that. This little thing, this is a Leonardo da Vinci, and I'm telling you, this rose is awesome. It doesn't have a fragrance, but what she does not have, he does not have in fragrance, absolutely makes up for it with the blooms. When it does bloom, the blooms stay on there for absolutely ages and look really gorgeous for absolutely ages. This particular flower has definitely been on for at least, I don't know, 7 to 10 days, something in that range, and it still looks really great. Here, this gorgeous thing, this is a Portulaca. I don't have much experience with this. This is just actually a new addition, but it's already grown since I've planted it in this pot. So it seems to like this location. It's a sun lover. And what happens is the blooms open once the sun starts hitting it in the morning, and then they close up once they go into too much shade. these lovely little things, these are just some um, tiny roses bought from Aldi. Now, it said for me to, they were for the house. However, I thought, well, let's just give them a go. Let's try and see what happens if I grow them outside. And so far, so good. I think there's like three bunches in each basket. And it's really giving that country vibe that I'm looking for. The basket with paired with the roses, I think it's a great combination. Now, these hydrangeas, the growers say that it's for full sun. And as we know, most panicle hydrangeas, they do like full sun. However, I found that the vanilla strawberry, they actually don't really like full sun. If you have a look, you can see that although they're planted at the same time, they're the same size, this one has had much more sunshine and this one has had less. So the blooms are a little bit smaller, but the bush is actually in a better condition. The stems aren't that strong as yet, still a bit floppy, but I know that that will get better in time as it gets older. This is only its second year, like I said, and when I bought these were actually in a 9 centimeter pot, believe it or not. So all of this is basically new growth. And here we have my sweet, sweet gardenia. I'm telling you, oh my God, I absolutely love this plant. And it's evergreen. The leaves are supposed to stay nice and glossy and green all year. So I'm here for that. Um, but the flowers, the smell, oh my God. The smell is stunning. And I seem to have found a groove with it recently because for the first few months, it kept just dropping buds. But now I think you have to keep the soil moist, not wet, but it has to be consistently moist and it loves to be fed. So it's just like me. So this little beauty, she's got more buds on the way, and I'm so excited because it smells absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Over here, this is this beauty. This one, the Chelsea Flower Show plant of the year, I do believe, and it's a variegated hydrangea. It's called Euphoria Pink. Now I had to cut off all the blooms. It did have some lovely blooms on it, but it was in too much sun and the blooms just looked a dried, hot mess. So I cut them off. And I guess it goes to show the real beauty of this plant is not in the blooms, but actually in the foliage, because even though it has no blooms, it's still so interesting because the foliage has that gorgeous pink tint to it when the new leaves come out. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm enjoying it even without any blooms on it. Really happy with that. Right, let's see what's going on in the back. So we're going to start off in this back garden. This side right here, this is my more part shade into a shady area. And then we'll pan around and have a look at the sunny border. But let's start here. If you're new to this channel, which everybody's new to this channel at this point, this is my first hydrangea. It was planted at my front door in a pot for a few years, not really getting any love, but I fell in love with it. It's also been moved around in this back garden quite a few times. And it's also possibly getting a little bit too much sun in this position at the moment. But I'm not going to move it again because I like the placement. And what I'm hoping for is that when this rose actually starts filling this arch, it will then provide enough shade for this hydrangea. That's the plan. So over this arch, we've got the generous gardener growing on either side. Generous gardener. And I'm so happy with this rose. Like, again, this is the first year of these roses being in this garden. And these were planted bare root. So the growth on them is absolutely awesome. This one doesn't get much sun during the day. This one definitely gets a full 6 hours, probably a bit more into the 8-hour range. This one is at 5 hours maximum sunshine each day, but still doing really well. You can see I've had lots of blooms from it. I keep deadheading most of the time, and it's really paying off. With it, I actually have a Star of Tuscane, which is basically the yellow version of the Star Jasmine. It's the yellow Star Jasmine. It's not as fragrant, but still just as beautiful. This over here is La Villa Cotta. Absolutely lovely rose. I really, this bloom has been on for almost 2 weeks, and that's why it has this gorgeous coloring to it. It comes out much more of an orangey color, and then as it ages, it gets like this. Absolutely lovely. Here, these are my Invincible Annabelles, the pink Annabelle, as they're known in the UK. And if you see any nursery pots along these borders, that's for a different project. They're not necessarily for this garden. What I've done here, you just want to come and have a look here. This is Bonica rose. Now there are 3 roses planted here, okay, because I wanted that big impact right here in front of the hydrangeas. However, I moved this rose. I moved this rose when I shouldn't have moved this rose, and it's looking so dead. Well, I thought it was looking so dead, but today, as we're out here talking, I think this is new growth. This looks like new growth to me. I think we might be all right. I mean, we're definitely not going to get anything magnificent from it this year, but I think we might be all right next year, you know. I think so. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't just pull it out and throw it in the bin, because it's looking like there's something happening there. But this is Bonica Rose. It's supposed to do quite well in the shade, and this is a shadier part of the garden, and it should give us that gorgeous impact right here. This rose just behind, this is the Poet's Wife. That's a David Austin rose. And if you just have a look back there, that one is the Queen of Denmark rose. Now that's a once flowering rose. It's an old rose, but the impact is should be really magnificent when it does bloom. It's very floriferous, so I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully I'll be able to train it up that trellis that will be growing with some other star jasmines up there. We've got some lovely Acanacloa. This is all gold variety. Now this is the first one I had. I've just popped in these 3 here. I don't necessarily know if they're going to stay here, but I kind of like that feeling of movement in the garden, which that grass is absolutely providing. I have my old, well, actually, this is not the old classic. This is incredible. However, because it's still quite a young plant, the stems are not as strong as hopefully they're going to be. But as you can see here, this is the older bloom, which has got that lime green color to it. And then these are the newer blooms, that pure white. Absolutely lovely. There's 4 of them planted back here. So they'll be enclosed with the pink Annabelles. Should give a really nice effect, which you'll see. As we go along, I have a clematis that the name is escaping me right now, but a clematis planted with a Claire Austin rose. It's possibly too shady. I just tried it. I don't know if if this rose was kind of like right here, I think it would do better, because this spot right here gets a little bit more sun than it does right there. So these are things that, you know, as a new gardener and creating a new garden, you can keep an eye out for. Obviously, I wouldn't take it out now, but when I'm doing my rejuvenation in the autumn, early spring, maybe, that's definitely something to be considered. Because the point of growing the rose is to have the flowers, isn't it? And although it has grown, it hasn't grown as much as the other Claire Austin that I have in the back. I don't know what kind of hydrangea this is. I got this from Sainsbury's, and you know, it's looking good. I like the fact that the foliage was so dark. That's why I got it. But it didn't. I mean, when you get plants from the supermarket, they literally say pink hydrangea. So this is my pink hydrangea. Look at this hosta. It's perfect. Oh no, not perfect. Slug damage, but it's almost perfect. Um, the Choco Chic Hydrangea has made its way here. Cannot take too much sun whatsoever. So this is the perfect place for it. And I don't know if you saw the video before where I showed you how awful um, the Japanese maple look. This is just the species Japanese maple, meaning species means that other types are bred from this. So they'll add something to this and then they come up with different breeds. This is just your bog standard Acer Archipomeria palmanatum or something along that line. It's just the species version. But it was burnt to a crisp when we went on holiday. And you can see down here the leaves. This is what all of the leaves were like, just crispy, crispy, crunchy. But I've got it in the ground, and since it's been in there, I'm over the moon as to how it's leafed back out. It obviously loves this position, and I love it there. I can't wait to see how this looks once it starts filling out and all of its leaves start cascading out and providing that cover for all of these beautiful hostas and pulmonaria, my hellebores and the heucheras. All those really shade-loving plants are going to do awesomely well when they're underplanted under that Japanese maple. Can you tell that I like hydrangeas? Now, this is one of the hydrangeas that I bought from another supermarket. So I don't know what kind it is, but it's a white hydrangea. Now, this is my other trial and error trellis. I have the variegated star jasmine growing here. And again, hopefully it will grow and meet and mingle up at the top and we'll get that gorgeous arch of white jasmine fragrance as we enter the back of the garden. I can't wait for that. But I did want to have two roses also growing on either side. That's not going to happen because this side just doesn't get enough sun for a rose to grow. Fortunately, the star jasmine gets just about enough sun, and hopefully as it grows up, it will start getting significantly more sunshine. But right now, it's getting just enough sunshine to keep it alive and to give it a bit of growth. The rose that I planted over here, I killed it. It's dead. It was another Laguna rose, and it died miserably. It died miserably. So we have the two variegated star jasmines planted here, and there's a Laguna rose. This one here is the phantom hydrangea, and then over in the corner there are two limelights planted. Now, I didn't know that flies liked flowers so much, but apparently they do. So, oh, this beauty, this is one of the other gardenias that I have invested in. This is called the Double Diamonds Gardenia, and it's brand new. It hasn't given me any buds or blooms, but what I will say is the leaves are still green and the leaves are still on the plant. So we're definitely onto a winner there. Now you can see the difference. Look at how dense those limelight blooms are compared to the phantom. Definitely different. I think it's a good contrast. So I have that more airy blooms with the denser ones. We've got some echinacea planted. The Beverly Cordes rose is right in that corner here. Lady of Shalott, which is looking very bare because I came and harvested some roses this morning. In the back, we also have a rambler that, with hopes of going around the edge of the fence there once it gets going. Um, we have Clematis montana, and this is a Kiss Me Kate rose, which she's given me a couple of blooms this year. Brand new rose, first year, but she's budding up again, so really happy about that. This is I think this is Bliss Parfuma, and oh my goodness, I absolutely adore the Bliss Parfuma. Here, this is a lemon and lime Nandina. Sunny Sky. Sunny Sky, she's also looking a bit bare because my vase is looking very full with her blooms this morning. So Sunny Sky. This is Roseanne. This is Geranium Roseanne, the classic. Everybody knows that you can't have a cottage garden without having Geranium Roseanne. So there she is. This beauty, this is my Gertrude Jekyll, which all the open lovely blooms that were available to me this morning, I took. And this is what's interesting. These are groundbreaker. These hydrangeas here, if you take a look, they're not going to get any um, much higher, much bigger than they already are. So these are a new variety of hydrangeas called groundbreakers. Now I know that there are other small ones available in the US called the tiny and the wee varieties that I believe are proven winners. But for us, groundbreakers, if you want a hydrangea for the front of your border as ground cover, then groundbreakers is what you want. As for the other hydrangeas in this bed, that's one phantom hydrangea growing there. And this one here, this is a silver dollar. Uh, this rose, absolutely lovely, and the smell is stunning. This is Fruity Parfuma, another Cordes rose, Fruity Parfuma. Some more Roseanne geraniums, and this is a Surrey rose. This is a ground cover rose. Although I must say, I expected the I expected it to be in this area, kind of this kind of height. So the fact that it's shot up here, I'm going to assume is just some kind of teething problem, because as you can see, it's kind of at the same height as a lot of the other roses, and you know, it's a ground cover. This little girl, this is Sweet Honey Rose. Now, it says that it's only supposed to get 3-4 feet. However, I've seen other YouTubers that are saying it's getting quite massive for them, like 6 foot in that arena. So I'm not sure. I'm going to have to watch this one and watch the pruning of it, but it possibly might have to move in the future. I don't really want to touch anything because all the pollinators are out and they seem to love this part of the bed. This over here, this is my Emma Bridgewater rose, which, as I was talking about with this Sweet Honey, maybe they will have to switch positions. Put Emma in the front and Sweet Honey back there. Oh, I grew these from seed. Can you believe that? In the back, there's some rose bushes, as you can see. There's one Alchemist and there's one Madame Isaac Pierre. And the reason for planting them so close there is obviously the Alchemist is an old rose, and so is the Madame Isaac Pierre. However, Alchemist only blooms once. So once she's done her show, then that's it for the rest of the year. So I thought, why not? If you can, do. Um, this old friend, this is a camellia. This was here when I moved in, and it was just massive. It took up all of this space here. So what I've done is I've limbed it up, which has given me so much space to underplant it because it gets a lot of sunshine here. So I'm really happy with that. We've got some Ajuga, got some GMs here. This this rose, this is a Zephyrin Druin rose, and all I can say is I can't believe that it's still alive. It's been on the struggle bus, it's been through a lot, but I think it's going to make it. I'm going to make this a hot border because, as you can see, everything else is kind of calm, serene colors, the pinks, the purples, the buttery yellows. And then we're going to have this spot here, and it's going to have reds and vibrant jewel tones. That's what's going to happen here. So I have them. I have these roses. This is Calling You Rose. That's ready to go in here. And then this is Royal Bumble Salvia. And we'll just, this is what's kind of leading the story at the moment. And then we'll work out what else goes with that. But that's the idea. This rose, this rose, this is Eustacia Vi. And let me tell you something. It's not necessarily the rose that I love the most as far as how it looks, but the smell is stunning. I guess everybody's palette is different, so maybe it doesn't smell as strong for other people, but for me, oh my goodness, this rose, every time I walk past here doing whatever, I have to stop. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So this is all going to be rearranged from this point on. It's going to be part of the hot border with the salvia, the Calling You rose, and I'm not sure what else, but hopefully you come back and see what happens in the autumn. Yeah, we've got the Generous Gardener. This is probably my favorite rose. This is Gabriel Oak. Now, maybe I should have done this the other way around, because after smelling that Eustacia Vi, Gabriel doesn't smell as strong. Still very, 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 very fragrant. Very, very fragrant. And I just love the look of this flower much more than I do love the look of Eustacia Vi. No offense, don't get offended. But I love Gabriel Oak. I absolutely adore it. Ah, there we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And here we have a new friend. This is the Boscobel David Austin Rose. I bought this potted. I've had it for about 3 months now. It gave us a couple of blooms early on, and now it's budding up all over again. Lots and lots of buds. So that will be giving us a nice show very soon. This particular this particular paniculata, this one is called Pink Lady. With the wind, some of the stems have drooped a little bit, but again, like I said, these hydrangeas are also brand new in the ground in this garden, so they need to be more established to have those thicker stems to be able to withstand a little bit more of the environmental issues that they're going to come across. This is Princess Anne, another David Austin rose. Smells lovely, but you know, I suppose you can't compare because a rose is a rose, right? You just have to enjoy the beauty of that rose. However, it looks so similar to me to the Gabriel Oak rose, but just the fragrance is just not there. So I don't know, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful rose. And again, all of that's going on back there, that's not for my garden. So let's have a look at the last couple of roses that we have here. This is Olivia Austin Rose. I know a lot of people love this rose, but I'm not sure if I'm in love with this rose. The blooms don't last very long. Once it starts blooming, it does give a lovely look, but after 2 or 3 days, they just seem to shatter and fall apart, which is not awesome. And then this last rose here, Souvenir de Baden Baden, which is in a pot. Haven't discovered where I'm going to place her yet. The fragrance is quite nice, but it's not overwhelmingly strong. But it's just it's a pretty rose. It's a pretty rose. My iceberg is, she's having a rest. You can see we have one little flower peeking out here. She's having a rest here, but she's done me proud. She's got a bit of black spot happening. I might have to come and do something about that. But, it's worked really hard this year, so I'm grateful. And again, the reason that some of the some of the rose bushes looks a little lacking is because Mama's got to get her bouquet for the day. So, oh my God, it's gorgeous. So I'm going to clean them up and get them inside, get them put in a vase. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to give you a quick little look around um, my garden, because I guess the philosophy that I'm working towards is you come for the flowers, but you stay for the conversation. And I hope as we build and grow together, that is the kind of community that I actually do create and that you feel a part of it. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully, you'll come back again soon and see what else is going on this channel. If you enjoyed spending some time with me, please like, share, and subscribe. Building community is one of the most positive thing that someone who has bipolar disorder or any other mental health issues can do. Community is at the center of recovery and staying well. So I hope you help me to build that here, where we can all come together and support one another. So, again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.